Hi guys, I am doing my video for the Britax Be Safe car seat. Take the seat off my stool, I need it off anyways. Probably should have folded it before I did that. Anyways, I'll just set it here for now so it's a little bit higher. This is, I know it's not sitting on its clips like it should be. I'll do those in a little bit. This is the Britax Be Safe car seat. It is the older version. There is a new updated version. It's not on its base because the newer version has a completely different base. I actually like the base on the newer version better. But the seat itself seems to be the same unless you get into like the Elite, and they have like the Be Safe, the Be Safe 30, the Be Safe Elite. They have a whole bunch of different ones now. Trying to pull up so I can figure out their names. There is also, they also sell the seat under the Bob name brand. Okay, it's Be Safe 35, Be Safe 35 Elite, Enduravis, and Be Safe Ultra. And like I said, they used to anyways. There used to be this exact seat that it was the Bob Stroller brand. I'm trying to look that up quick. That it wasn't on the Britax website, it was on the Bob website, and it looks like they still do sell it on the Bob website. And it looks like they're basically selling it's the Bob Be Safe 35 by Britax. And there also is, so they did update the Bob one. And there also is another brand that Britax is coming out with. What is it called? I saw it on Essentials by Britax. Basically, it seems like Britax seats. Right now, they just have two convertibles and a booster. They are called the Alliance, the Emblem, and Skyline. Car seats. They basically are cheaper versions of Britax seats. To me, they look like older styles of Britax car seats. Like Britax is moving to like the click tight systems and such, where the older convertibles had a full-on shell. This looks exactly, to me, the Alliance looks exactly like a Marathon without click tight. In fact, it looks identical to a car seat my son had. And the Emblem, and I'm probably saying that wrong, looks identical to my daughter's Boulevard that she had at one point. And I believe they still sell those, so their website's their website used to be really super easy to navigate, and now I find it horrible. It's hard to navigate. You gotta click like 10 different places to get where you want to, or before you could just click on car seats and it would bring up all their car seats. But looking at their website, it looks like they got rid of the non-click tight Marathons and Boulevards and Advocates, and they're coming out with this Essentials brand, which compared to an actual Britax seat, it brings it down They start around, I think that they're around $199 is what I saw. So anyways, back to the Be Safe. Like I said, this is the older version of it. They've got a newer version, but, and to tell you the truth, I kind of won't be surprised if we see this basic older version come onto that Essentials website. Yeah. The Alliance, which was the old marathons, starts at $199. And honestly, that's probably right around, like, if you got a good sale on a marathon back in the day, that's probably what you would be paying. So anyways, the infant seats. Okay, so this is the infant seat. This one is obviously the black version. It has the shade, but the shade honestly is not the best in my opinion. I personally do not like the shades that are attached by Velcro in the back, which this is one of them. You can hear it right there. I like that was one thing I was very spoiled with having my kids in those Graco car seats. It's because the sunshade, if the sun was coming this way, I could pull the sunshade down to their feet, and it would protect the sun that way. Where this, like, it only extends so far. Now I need to either get like one of those blanket attachments on the handlebar or attach a blanket to the shade. I'm personally not a fan of it. The only ones that I like that go this far are the Nuna Pippa, and that is because it's got a thing under the bottom that you can actually extend down to extend the sunshade. So it's just got this basic sunshade, nothing spectacular, nothing grand. And it's a very basic car seat. It's only showing there's 4. It's got 4 different heights for the strap covers. It's at the second for my dolls. My dolls are 21 inches long, I believe, when the legs would be extended out. This car seat is actually perfect for preemies. I've helped fit a little preemie, or not even a preemie, it was a baby that actually had gone overdue, but was just born very tiny. The mom and dad had a baby trend car seat. Tuffy's over there sneezing. The mom had a baby trend car seat that the baby was actually very small for. Like, at this setting, right here on the second setting, it was over the baby's shoulders. And Mom did not feel comfortable with that at all. And I actually had received a brand new Be Safe car seat. And so I didn't need it at the time, and we were about to move down here. So I chose to, yes, I did sell it, but I did not sell it anywhere near what it was worth. And Mom was beyond thankful for it. She actually, first of all, she asked, she's like, can we try the baby in it first before we buy from you? And I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, they're very good sizes for preemies. And she's like, well, he's not a preemie, he's just very tiny. And when she brought him over, like, the little guy, I think, was only 17 inches long. And he weighed a little under 5 pounds. And he was 41 weeks. And he was just a tiny little guy. And this car seat's weighted for 4 pounds and up. So he was within the weight limit. I had it already set on the lowest setting. And I put him in, or Mom put him in the car seat. I helped her get it all adjusted to him. And she literally burst into tears. Because the baby at that point was over 2 weeks old. She goes, he has no health problems whatsoever. He's just tiny and isn't growing as fast as he should. Or he has no health issues that we know of. I mean, he might have had some health issues. Anyways, the seat got small enough for this little guy to fit in. And she's like, I don't feel like I'm stuck at home anymore. because she goes, anytime like I needed to run to the store to get something for my toddler or even the baby, she goes, I have to wait until my husband gets home because I don't want to take my baby out in the car seat that we have. So it does get very tiny for little ones or preemies. Like I said, I have it set at the second one for my dolls because the straps need to be at or below for rear-facing car seats. Any rear-facing car seat, be it an infant seat or a convertible. When it goes forward-facing, it's at or above. And that's just how, in a crash, the forces with physics work on the child, the seat, the buckle, and the momentum of the crash. In infant seats, instead of going forward, they what's called ramp up. They will slide up into the car seat and then slide back down. That's why you want it below, because it will keep them from coming out the top. Where forward facing, they're going to go forward, and you want a little bit more room to allow them to go forward enough, which in a crash, the buckles are going to stretch. That's why they always say the webbing of the harness is going to stretch. That's why they say don't wash a harness, because getting it wet and harsh chemicals will actually weaken fibers in the harness. But anyways, in an accident, forward-facing children go forward, so you want a little bit of that extra harness in the front where it's going to stop them from moving forward, but not stop them too quickly where their neck and head will keep going and cause internal decapitation. Which older children, it's less likely to happen, and that's why they're actually saying the new minimum for forward-facing should be 2 years, and that's the absolute bare minimum. If your child still fits in a car seat rear-facing, keep them in there as long as possible. I know both of my kids turned forward-facing at 3 years old. My son was he hit the maximum weight of his car seat for rear-facing. My daughter was turned because we were in a smaller vehicle, and her legs were long enough to kick her brother in the face constantly. So it was easier to flip her around. Like, I know some people, oh, that's a behavior issue. We went through a lot of things behavior-wise, and for the sanity of the driver and to keep focus on driving instead of constantly telling my daughter to stop kicking her brother, to leave her brother alone, my son screaming because she's kicking him. It was just one of those decisions we had to make. So anyways, that's just kind of the physics of car seats. So it's set at, and it's still a pretty decently low-sized harness. It also has two, let's see if you can see that. It's got 2 spots for the crotch clip. This one is the first one for smaller babies, and then there's a second one right here for larger babies. This is rated to 30 pounds, and like I said, this is the older one. This is 4 to 30 pounds and up to 32 inches, which the newer one is to 35 pounds, and I think it's still to 32 inches. This one, I think both of them, the new one does too. It comes with the harness strap covers. They're not ultra cushy, but once again, these have been crash tested with this seat. Not those cutesy, big puffy ones you find in Walmart, Target, other baby stores that are dangerous for car seats. You want them on your stroller? Fantastic. I bought plenty of those for strollers because my kids would pull them off and play with them and then lose them. But then they'd be mad that the stroller straps were rubbing their neck. And then it also has, if I can get it undone, a crotch buckle cover. This is so that, you know, when you push the harness in on a baby, you have it behind. So it prevents from pinching baby's belly. It'll pinch the fabric before it can pinch baby's belly. And it also makes it easier, something to kind of grab. It will typically flop forward. Sometimes it does flop backwards. When you put the baby in, you can flop it forward, and it kind of makes creates a little bit of a flatter surface to sit baby in, and then buckle. And you just flop it back over and buckle. And it also has the chest clip that's in the US and Canada. A lot of people think just doing up this chest clip is what you do for a baby car seat. This doesn't matter. And in reality, this is the more important part than this. There were some of these chest clips that were recalled. And by Britax, they were breaking from normal use. And Britax said just take them off until we send you a replacement. Some people actually liked them without the chest clip, but they had the straps below, and they also had the harness tight enough for the child. In a crash, this is actually meant to bend and break. It's meant to break in a crash. So if you're in an accident and you have a child with you and the chest clip breaks, it did its job. It's to keep the harness, it's to position the harness at the correct spot. That's also why they say put it at like armpit or nipple level with baby or children, because you don't want it too high on their neck where it can cause strangulation issues, but you don't want it on their belly, because if they come forward, this can actually cause internal damage on the belly. That's why you want it on the rib cage area, and to stay on the rib cage area, because the rib cage can take those forces, and you know, if this breaks, it's not really going to do as much damage to a rib cage as it can do like the soft belly. So it's got its clip, just a basic plastic clip. And I think these were breaking off. The tongs were breaking off without force. And then it's got its infant insert. Now I know, especially in the reborn community, there are people that do not like these ones. They think they're flimsy and floppy. Personally, for a real baby, you don't need, unless the baby needs a lot more support because of a medical issue, you don't need a whole lot of support, because a baby's head tilts to one side from time to time. That's fine as long as the seat itself is sitting at the correct angle where it's not cutting off baby's airway. A lot of those aftermarket ones actually will push baby's head forward and cause, while it might keep their head upright, it'll push their chin on their chest and cut their airway off. As well as, once again, they haven't been tested with the car seat. I personally like this one for, I like this one, and I like Kiko's infant insert. I haven't really been around much. I know that Graco has updated theirs instead of just like that little horseshoe looking thing. They have a more supportive one as well, I believe. But if you own a Britax convertible or Britax seat and you want more support for your babies or reborns, you can always purchase, as long as it's branded Britax, the infant insert. Now I know there's many other companies that make these. I believe there's Summer Infant. There's a few companies that make these. This has been crash tested in this seat, and it still performed like it should with the harness. Britax purposely made it thin enough. It's just this absorbent layer that's a similar fabric to the seat itself, where it doesn't cause too much slippage. And then like a thin layer of like Sherpa, and I think there's like a thin layer of like a cotton underneath, in between. So it's a little bit thicker than, say, it's not a swaddle blanket, receiving blanket. And then it does have these two puffy sides to kind of give more support on the side. And then it does have a better head support for those that feel they need it. And for the head support, it is flat in the middle and it comes up on the side, so it doesn't push the head forward. Now once again, it needs to be Britax branded. It needs to be. If the Essentials brand comes out with an infant seat, I am going to assume that this will be okay with it, because it's by Britax as well, and they're the same Britax seats. but you might, or you're going to want to contact Britax themselves to, you know, see if that is okay. And I'm not going to say yes or no. Once again, you need to contact Britax if you have a baby essentials, or essentials by Britax convertible, and you have an infant you want to use this with. And you can use it with or without the head support. I've seen people, I've got these attached because I had it in a consignment sale, but I took it out. I've seen some people, they want to keep this portion in for the head, but they feel their baby needs a little more body support, so they just want this portion, not this portion. Some just want this portion and not this portion. Personally, unless you've got a little itty bitty guy, this just makes baby look very uncomfortable and really squished to me. When I've had my neonate doll in there, it looked pretty uncomfortable to me. I think when I did my outing video I had it in, I don't fully remember. But, so that's just an extra, it's not needed. You can use it with or without this, even with your dolls. And it does go up to, like I said, it's got the 4 different, hoping you guys can see that. There's the one on the bottom right here, 2, 3, 4 strap heights. So if you've got bigger babies or bigger dolls, but this still needs to be below their shoulders. So if you've got like a toddler sized doll, you might be able to get away with that as long as there's 1 inch of movement, or there's 1 inch of shell above their head as well. So that's the basics of the seat. It's got the front, like to adjust the harness, you just push the button in the front like typical car seats, pull there, and then yank the tail to tighten around baby. I did see this one time and I mentioned it before, is if you don't want to use the strap covers, you don't, but take them off and put them in a safe place. Same goes with the crotch strap cover and the insert. You know, they aren't needed if you don't want them. If you find a car seat for your dolls used and it doesn't come with those, you don't have to buy them to make sure that your car seat's okay for your dolls. The other thing is that I really like is these are compatible. This seat is compatible with my stroller. So I showed in the past with my stroller, which is a Baby Jogger City Versa. The updated version is the City Premier. But I bought these clips, or car seat adapters. They slide right into and click in, and you guys did not see that. There we go. Okay, move you guys up. Let's see if this will show it. Okay, this side you'll be able to see. But it just goes in here, slides down, locks in. Pretty simple. And to put the seat on, let me just put it all the way up for you guys. You just pick the seat up and it'll click in. You can have the seat either this way or facing you. I mean, it's a personal preference. Most people are going to have the baby facing themselves. I can put the hood up, they can interact with baby. But there are some older babies that are still in the car seat or have medical reasons and whatnot that they need the extra support of a car seat versus a stroller. Some convenience wise, but baby wants to see out. And you can put baby facing out. The way to undo it is right here, there are these clips that clip in, and this is attached to the car seat, and there's a button underneath that you pull up on. See it right under there. It's this little button here, and it locks back in. So this is my review and such for review and demo of the Be Safe or this is the Be Safe by Britax, which is the Be Safe 30 initially. Oh, and like I said, I didn't bring in the base, but to release it from the base, it's just this lever back here. You can hear it. The release mechanism going. And it releases from this point right here. When you slide into the base, this slides in. And then it latches in the back as well. But that's the part that latches in the front. So, yeah, this is, and like, I like this car seat. I know with my own personal opinions and then being in the tech world, there are some techs that just do not care for Britax because, one, people always assume because it was a Britax seat, it was better than everything else. Because it was a Britax seat, they didn't need to follow the rules of, you know, have the car seat straps below, have the street straps tight, have the chest clip at the certain level. They didn't feel that the same rules applied to the car seat. And a lot of techs would kind of get frustrated with Britax because in some ways they didn't really try to combat those beliefs. And there is a newer campaign that is leaving a foul taste in a lot of people's mouths about, like, do you worry about your child's safety? Well, we do. Which there are some people that are saying, and I agree with them, and aside from owning this seat, my kids are actually, each of them have 2 Britax seats currently. They've each had both of them have been in a Britax convertible. My son was in, when we had our accident and told him my van was in a Britax convertible. They both are in combination seats, a set in my van and a set in my husband's truck. So it's not like I've never owned a Britax seat, but the campaign, it left a foul taste in a lot of people's mouth because basically a lot of people were feeling it was saying, well, we care more about your kid than you do, so if you don't own a Britax seat, you don't really care about your kid. Do you care about, it was something along the lines, do you care about your child's safety? Well, we do. Or we care more about your child's safety. It was something along those lines, and the way that it was marketed, it put a lot of people off. And there were, of course, the people that were defending it, but it personally, to me, left a foul taste in my mouth, even though I own Britax seats. And while I won't stop buying Britax seats because of that, if it's going to fit in my situation, I'm going to use it. But it's not something that I want. It's personally not a marketing strategy that I would have gone along with. Just like I said, because it just, the way that it's worded. Okay, right now I'm on their website and it's like their video is like, what was that now? I'm trying to find it, guys. I'm trying to hurry up too before my video cuts out. It was something that, like, we are for the warriors, we care about your kids. Especially, like, their other new big thing is because the royal babies have been brought home in Britax seats, infant seats. And I know that Britax does do a lot of good in the car seat community. It's just the way that it was put out there is where it was foul tasting and how the marketing it was. And I am not able to find this, and this video is getting too long. So hope everyone has a good day, and I will see you all later. Bye.